Hello, my name is Kindson Munonye. As you know, I'm here to take you on Validate Scope. Validate Scope is one of the monitoring and controlling processes under the Project Scope Management knowledge area. Previously on the Scope Management knowledge area, we completed Create WBS that produces the scope baseline and updates to project documents. Today, we are going to be looking at Validate Scope, which has to do with deliverables acceptance by the customer. Validate Scope is the process of formalizing acceptance of the completed project deliverables. The key benefit of the Validate Scope process is that it brings objectivity to the acceptance process and increases the chance of final product, service or result acceptance by validating each deliverable. The inputs are the project management plan, requirements documentation, requirements traceability matrix, verified deliverables, and work performance data. We have two tools and techniques, and they are inspection and group decision making techniques. Outputs are accepted deliverables, change requests, work performance information, and project document updates. The validate scope and control quality are somehow related. How? The validate scope is different because the validate scope is concerned with acceptance of deliverables, while quality control is primarily concerned with correctness of the deliverables and meeting the quality requirements specified for the deliverables. So control quality have to do with checking the deliverables to make sure the deliverables are okay, they meet the quality standard, they are what you want them to be. But then validate scope means showing the customer, okay, customer, see the output of this project, do you like it? Are you okay? Are you accepting it? Okay, and you document the acceptance by the customer. So control quality is generally performed before validate scope, although the two processes may be performed in parallel. Verified deliverables are obtained from control quality process are reviewed with the customer or sponsor to ensure that they are completed satisfactorily and have received formal acceptance of deliverables by the customer. So we have these deliverables that have been verified. Verified deliverables are output of control quality, and these verified deliverables serve as input to validate scope process. Now the inputs to validate scope is project management plan, which contains the scope management plan and the scope baseline. The scope management plan specifies how formal acceptance of the completed project deliverables will be obtained. The scope baseline includes the approved version of the scope statement, WBS and WBS dictionary, as mentioned before. Requirements document is also an input to validate scope. The requirement documentation lists all projects, products, and other types of requirements for the project or the product, along with the acceptance criteria. We also need the requirements traceability matrix, which links requirements to their origin and tracks them throughout the project lifecycle. Another input is verified deliverables. They are project deliverables that are completed and checked for correctness through the control quality process. We need work performance data and input, which includes the degree of compliance with requirement, number of non-conformities, severity of non-conformities, or the number of validation cycles performed in the period. So work performance data are data gathered in course of doing the work, the measurements taken, and the observations documented. Tools and techniques for validate scope inspection is there. It includes activities such as measuring, examining, and validating to determine whether work and deliverables meet requirements and product acceptance criteria. Inspections are sometimes called reviews, audits, and walkthroughs. Alright, group decision making techniques is another tool and techniques for validate scope. We'll discuss this when we discuss collect requirement process. The group decision making techniques are used to reach a conclusion when the validation is performed by the project team and other stakeholders. Outputs are accepted deliverables. Now, you've presented the project deliverable to the sponsor or to the customers. You tell him, see, I've completed this work. Here, I'm handing it over to you. Please sign it off that you've accepted it. So once the customer takes the document, signs it, deliverable accepted by me, everything is okay. That deliverable now becomes verified deliverable. It moves from it becomes accepted deliverables. It moves from verified deliverable to accepted deliverables. Now, formal documentation is very, very important. You need to receive this sign off from the customer. If not, well, it can't be called accepted deliverable, or maybe an email specifying or giving an acceptance of these deliverables needs to be provided by the customer. Another output is change request. If the deliverables have not formally been accepted, then the reasons for non-acceptance is documented. And those reasons might require creating a change request to make a correction or to repair something and reach the expectation of the customer or the sponsor. So the change requests are processed through the perform integrated change control process. We also have work performance information as output. This is information that has been contextualized, or work data that has been contextualized, analyzed, and can be used for decision making. Right? It includes information about the project progress, which deliverables have started, their progress, which ones have finished, and so on and so forth. And of course, we also need project documents updates. Updates to project documents might be necessary in the course of validate scope process. So this is how we wrap it up on the validate scope process. This is very, very critical process, crucial to project success, because if the customer or client have not accepted the project, then the project is as good as not successful. So the validate scope process is very, very important. So I'm taking you back to the ITTO's page so that you get used to this inputs, tools and techniques and outputs. I'd like to thank you very much for joining me, and please join me in my next presentation as I'm going to discuss control scope.